Hello, hello, my friends. AmyR here with Prairie Paper and Ink. Welcome back to my face and my card making space. And slightly, how do I explain this? As of this moment, Simon Says Stamp has released another limited edition STAMPtember kit. I don't have the kit, but I do have the stamp set and the coordinating die set because I have products that are coming out next month from Simon. And that set happened to be in there, and Simon had posted some sneak peeks, and I was like, I have that stamp set. So I made a couple cards using the set, and another thing that is included in the kit, which is one of the new Distress Mica Stains, one of the new holiday colors that Tim Holtz released. This is the Sugary Gumdrop, and same thing. It was in the sneak peek pics, so I was like, ooh, I've got these things, and gold embossing powder. So I was like, I'm just going to make up my own kit in a sense. So I'll show you guys how I made these cards. I'll link to all the things, and I will link to that limited edition kit because their limited edition kits sell out quite quickly usually, and they're packed. The limited edition kits are not part of the monthly subscription kits. They're separate purchase. There's more products in them. They're discounted, you know, all the things. And once they sell out, they are gone. But the vast majority of the products in the kits are available separately. The die set, I can almost guarantee, again, I'm filming this ahead of time, but usually the die set is not included in the kit. It's a separate purchase. So I will have links, like I always do when I do all my editing. I'll have links to the kit and everything individually, etc. down below. I had a lot of fun making this and just making it work because I'm just powering through STAMPtember and having fun with it. So yeah, I made some shimmery, groovy birthday cards, and if you keep watching, I will show you guys how I made them. Alrighty, so I've seen the kit since I filmed the intro, but I'm not refilming the intro. I ain't got time for that. So anyway, it's the Boho Party limited edition kit, and I was right. The wafer die set is separate, but the kit is jam-packed. So I'll have a link to the kit and everything that's available separately, like I always do. So this is the Boho Party stamp set, and I love it. It's so cute. I couldn't resist doing everything twice and making 2 cards with it. So I put some of Simon's smooth white cardstock into my MISTI, and I'm stamping the little van. We all know what it is, but the van and the banner and the little party hat. And then I used my little placement grid just to protect the cardstock so I could move the stamps so that I don't have to clean the stamps off and I don't have to worry about smearing ink on the cardstock. So I could stamp everything twice. And then I stamped it all with Simon's Intense Black ink, which is an alcohol marker friendly ink. And right this moment, this is real time. I don't color near as fast as the magic of video editing makes me look. I am going to seriously speed up the coloring because I took my time with it. I originally was actually gonna like do everything in like different colors, but I misjudged my time allotment and just kept everything the same. And besides the fact, who doesn't want like a little aqua colored little van? Seriously, I want one. I want one. It's adorable. So I colored it in like what I would like. And I'm using my Spectrum Noir TriBlend markers because again, convenience, and I like them. It just makes my life so much easier. And I somewhat based my colors loosely on, again, the sneak peeks I saw of the kit. So I saw like some of the pattern papers, etc. And I was like, ooh, I'm liking these non-neon colors because that would be my first like gut instinct, like to go neon with this, although and it would look cute, like do the little camper van in like lime green, you know. So fun. But I went a little bit more muted within reason, and yeah, just colored it. This wouldn't have taken as long if I'd only done one little set. But again, I had fun. I had fun with it. So I did my usual kind of going darkest to lightest and just working my way, sort of back and forth through these images. I always place the marker caps on screen so people can pause if you want to know like the specific ones I used. I stuck to basically the same marker because, you know, each one's got a light, a medium, a dark. The only thing I mixed up a little bit, and I mixed up as in I went intentional, is I used the Coral Blend and Coral Extend to get the right shade that I wanted, because I have both sets of these Spectrum Noir, because again, if there's going to be more colors available, I'm going to get them all because I need them in my life. So colored up this adorable little like hippie banner. I don't know what it is. I had fun. I had fun with this. It was just cute. So cute. So colored in, you know, all these little elements. So I was doing like my color theme was aqua. I used kind of golden yellow, the coral, you know, peachy sort of color. And then I went with a bit of a muted green. And once I was done coloring in everything, I took my Nuvo Aqua Shimmer pen, as is tradition, and basically covered everything with it. You know, just why not? Headlights are sparkly, the bumper's sparkly, the windshield's sparkly, the banner's sparkly, the party hats are sparkly. I have yet for it to ever be too much. And then you let that dry, and then you apply white gel pen if that's what you want to do. White gel pen, always the last step, because aqua shimmer pens, anything sort of water reactive, etc., will like smear them with the white gel pen, or it will like dissolve it completely. Like if you ever have applied white gel pen on something and then you put like glossy accents on top of it, try it. Come back to it when the glossy accents is dry. You won't see any white gel pen because it literally just dissolves it. It's the weirdest thing. But if you apply glossy accents, allow it to dry completely, you can draw with your white gel pen on top of it. I've done that in videos. It's been a while. I haven't been using glossy accents lately, only because I don't have time, because it needs time to dry. I don't have time. Anyway, I pulled out some coral colored cardstock. This, I know it's Concord 9th, and of course I totally forgot to double check, but I cut down a panel of it. Actually, I have it behind me. What is it? Grapefruit. That's what it was. Grapefruit cardstock. So I cut down a couple pieces to A2 size, so 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And there's this like banner image, sort of border. That's the word I'm thinking of. Oh, you guys. Border image of these florals, and I line them up, and then I just keep moving the panel upwards. And I was using kind of the grid on the back of my little grip mat, and I was basically moving everything up three squares. You know, I figured out a little system, and it was like stamp, move it up 3 squares, and then stamp again, move it up 3 squares. Perfection. So I used Simon's Cheeky ink to do this, and this will lighten up quite a bit as it dries, but I'm also going to add, of course, mica spray stain on top of it. But this gives a fun pattern. You can do this with any border, you know, image to create a full background. Just depends on what you want to do. So I stamped these backgrounds with that with the florals, and then I laid out my flour sackcloth to protect my work surface, and I'm going to use that sugary gumdrop distress mica stain. Now the mica stains, always make sure you shake them really well. It is just gravity at work. All the mica settles to the bottom. You just want to shake these up really, really well. Make sure there's no mica sitting at the bottom. Everything's evenly dispersed, because otherwise you'll clog your nozzle, and that's not fun. So shake it up really, really well. And then I held this up quite high over these panels, hence me laying out my flour sackcloth, which is, I need to do a load of like all my little cloths and towels and aprons and all my things, because this flour sackcloth is just getting absolutely covered. I don't mind the staining, but it's starting to like rub off on things. So I'm like, it's time to wash it. Anyway, I have extras. It's all good. So I sprayed it with that and then set those aside to dry. While those were drying, I took another piece of the smooth white cardstock, and I took this big kind of sunburst image from the stamp set along with one of the sentiments, and I used my anti-static powder tool. And then I inked up the sentiment and the image with clear embossing ink. And I'm going to stamp them a couple times here because, again, brand new stamps. Plus, there's a lot of detail on that, like, starburst, sun image, whatever you want to call it. And then coated that with detailed gold embossing powder, and then just flipped it around, repeated the process, stamped it, coated it with the gold embossing powder, and then I'll melt that with my heat tool. Always one of my favorite things is melting embossing powder, especially metallics. It's just, it will never get old. I've been doing this over 20 years, and melting embossing powder, again, especially metallics, because you get the biggest like just impact. It'll never get old. It's so fun. So I've included that just, just to watch it melt. Love it. And as always, tilt it back and forth in the light to make sure that everything is smooth and shiny and melted. There's no grainy or dull areas, because those are just parts that haven't been melted yet. And then after I got those melted, I used the wafer dies to die cut these out. And then, there's little stamps in the set. And I was like, I guess we'll use those as like little extra sentiments. And I'm like, wait a minute, they're sized to fit the little license plate area on the van. I was like, perfect. So I inked them up with Simon's Field Positively Saturated ink, just keeping it a little subtle for the most part. And yeah, I stamped Let's Party on there. And then for the card bases, these are going to be top folding A2 white note cards. So I'm going to put those into my MISTI, and I'm going to take the big happy birthday stamp from the stamp set. And that I'm going to stamp with Concord 9th Stardust ink. So ink up that stamp that onto the inside of the card, repeat the process with the second card base. And then I'm going to take these out of my MISTI, because there's little companion images from this set, little like starburst and a little heart and whatnot. And these sorts of things I prefer just using an acrylic block, because I can move them around. It's just faster than using my MISTI. So I stamped little hearts with that same cheeky ink, and then I pulled out surf ink for these little like stars type images, stamped those, and then the final ones I stamped with that field ink that I used for the little license plate sentiments. So stamp those onto the inside too, just to kind of pull all the colors together. Once those are stamped, the insides are done. And then those backgrounds were dry, and I had die cut those shimmery backgrounds with just one of my Waffle Flower A2 wafer dies, so it's smaller than the card base. And I will show at the end with my flashlight, because the shimmer is amazing. And it's also tinted, just FYI. All of the distressed mica stains, like the mica isn't like just white. It's all different colors. That's kind of the beauty of it, is there's the liquid that's colored, but the mica itself is colored as well. So the shimmer on this is like this peachy, it's pretty. It's really pretty. You guys have heard me go on and on about the mica stains in however many videos, and they've been out for how many years, but this is one of the new ones. Anyway, it's beautiful. I'll show it at the end. So another beauty about doing, or like why I like doing more than one card when I'm able to, is I can use one card as my template, to do my little bit of a layout, and then I can follow that on the second card, and it just makes life easier. Another option, if you're only doing one, is you can do your layout, take a photo of it with your phone, and then, when you're moving things around, or you go to actually assemble the card, you have the photo for reference. Although I did that in a recent video, and I mentioned that I forgot to look at the photo. It's like I'll be scrolling through my, photos on my phone sometimes, and I was like, what on earth? And I was like, oh yeah, I took that for placement, and then I forgot about it. Anyway, once I was done applying all of the little elements to my cards, I still had the Studio Claudia gold sparkle little rhinestones sitting on my desk. So of course I used those, because they're gold. They're perfect. So I adhered those into place with little dabs of craft tacky glue. And I trimmed off the little bits of the banner that were like hanging off the edges of the card, just so this will fit in an A2 envelope. And that finished them off. So now you can see the shimmer and sparkle. Even then, like, video does not do it justice. They're so pretty. So I've got the shimmery splattered background, and then all the aqua shimmer, on the stamped images as well. And it's subtle, even in real life, but when you tilt it in the light, it's just fabulous and so much fun. I had a lot of fun making these. So, like I mentioned in the intro, I will have links to everything. I'll have a link to the kit. I'll have a link to all the things available individually, along with all the other supplies I used. So that will be directly below the video in the description box for anyone who's interested. Thank you all so very much for taking the time to watch my videos, for thumbs upping and commenting, and subscribe if you haven't. I'd love to have you. And I'll see you all very soon in the next one. Bye.